The salty air whipped Sonal's hair across her face. She laughed, brushing it away. The Arabian Sea shimmered before her, vast and blue. Porbandar, her home, was a city on the coast of Gujarat, India. Life here was simple, a gentle rhythm of school, family, and friends. Sonal loved her city. She loved the bustling marketplace and the quiet peace of the ancient temples. She was a bright girl, good in school, and helpful at home. Her parents, though not wealthy, were proud of their daughter. They instilled in her kindness and courage, values she held dear. On this day, Sonal was at the beach with her friend Priya. They were both 15, giggling and carefree as they chased the retreating waves. The sun warmed their faces, and the sand felt soft beneath their feet. It was a perfect afternoon. A sudden gust of wind tore through the beach, whipping sand into a frenzy. Sonal gasped, shielding her eyes. The wind seemed to circle around her, pulling at her clothes, tugging at her hair. It was strange, almost unnatural, this concentrated burst of energy in the midst of a peaceful day. Then, just as quickly as it began, the wind stopped. The sand settled. Sonal lowered her arm, blinking away the dust. It was then that she saw her. Standing a few feet away, staring back at her with an unblinking gaze, was a girl. The girl was identical to Sonal. Same long black hair, same bright eyes, same smile. But her eyes were filled with a sadness so deep, so profound, that it sent chills down Sonal's spine. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her. Sonal blinked, certain her eyes were playing tricks on her. But when she opened them again, the girl was still there. Her expression hadn't changed, that same sorrowful gaze fixed on Sonal. Priya, oblivious, continued to laugh, brushing sand off her clothes. "Priya," Sonal whispered, her voice trembling. "Look!" Priya glanced over, her brow furrowed. "Look at what?" she asked, her gaze sweeping over the beach. Sonal pointed, her hand shaking. But the spot where the girl had stood was now empty. The only movement was the gentle ebb and flow of the tide. "There was a girl there," Sonal stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "She looked exactly like me." Priya frowned, her eyes searching Sonal's face. "Are you feeling all right?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Maybe the sun was too strong. Life, as Sonal knew it, had changed. The carefree joy she once possessed had been replaced by a gnawing fear. Sleep offered no escape, for the girl from the beach haunted her dreams, her eyes wide and pleading. Sonal's once vibrant health began to deteriorate. She confided in her parents, telling them about the girl, the wind, the unsettling feeling that something was terribly wrong. Concerned, they took her to doctors, but no physical ailment could be found. "It's stress," one doctor concluded. "She needs rest and a change of scenery." Desperate for answers, Sonal's parents took her to a temple, seeking solace in ancient rituals and prayers. There, an old priest listened patiently to Sonal's story. His eyes, wise and knowing, held a flicker of recognition. "There are old stories," he said, his voice low and rumbling like distant thunder. stories of a girl who disappeared from the college many years ago. Some believe her spirit still walks these shores, seeking peace. Sonal's family lived in the shadow of Porbandar University. The college, with its sprawling campus and bustling student life, had always held a sense of excitement for Sonal. Now, it felt different, cloaked in an unsettling aura. Driven by a need to understand, Sonal began to ask questions. She learned that 40 years ago, a young woman named Anjali had vanished without a trace. Anjali, a bright and promising student, had simply disappeared one evening, never to be seen again. The professors, their faces etched with time and tinged with sadness, remembered Anjali. They spoke of her intelligence, her kindness, her laughter that once echoed through the halls. The police had investigated, but Anjali's disappearance remained a mystery. With each passing day, the weight of Anjali's story pressed down on Sonal. She couldn't shake the feeling that their fates were intertwined, that the girl on the beach, the haunting in her dreams, was somehow connected to Anjali's disappearance all those years ago. Sonal learned that Anjali had been a bright, promising student. She was loved by her friends and family. Her disappearance had shattered their world. Whispers of what had happened to Anjali travelled through the college like a chilling breeze. Some whispered of a jealous classmate, envious of Anjali's intelligence and popularity. Others spoke of a forbidden romance, a love affair that ended in tragedy. But the most persistent rumour, the one that sent shivers down Sonal's spine, involved a powerful local businessman. This man, known for his ruthlessness and lack of morals, had allegedly become infatuated with Anjali. When she rejected his advances, he had her abducted, silencing her forever. The police, influenced by the man's wealth and power, turned a blind eye, leaving Anjali's case unsolved, her fate unknown. Fear, once a paralyzing force, began to transform within Sonal. It morphed into a burning need for truth, a relentless pursuit of justice for Anjali. The girl on the beach, her eyes filled with a lifetime of sorrow, became a driving force, a constant reminder of the injustice that had been served. Sonal, once a timid girl, found her voice. She spoke to anyone who would listen, classmates, professors, even strangers on the street. She told them Anjali's story, reminding them that her disappearance remained unsolved, that her voice deserved to be heard. She organized vigils, her voice trembling at first, then growing stronger with each word. She plastered missing posters on every available surface. Anjali's smiling face staring out at the world, a constant reminder of the life that had been stolen. Sonal's campaign for Anjali did not go unnoticed. The local newspaper picked up the story, publishing articles about Anjali's disappearance and Sonal's quest for justice. The police, facing mounting public pressure, were forced to reopen the case. The businessman, once untouchable, found himself facing scrutiny. His empire, built on a foundation of lies and deceit, began to crumble. Witnesses, emboldened by Sonal's courage, came forward, sharing information they had kept hidden for years, fearing for their own safety. Sonal's health, once failing, began to improve. The nightmares subsided, replaced by dreams of Anjali. Her face no longer shrouded in sorrow, but illuminated by a soft, peaceful light. The haunting presence, once a source of terror, now felt like a source of strength, a silent companion urging her forward. The businessman, his crimes exposed, faced the full force of the law. The truth, buried for so long, had finally come to light. Justice, though delayed, had been served. Yet, the mystery of Anjali's final resting place remained unsolved. Sonal, now a young woman, continued to honor Anjali's memory. She became a beacon of hope for others seeking justice, a testament to the power of one voice to make a difference. She never forgot the girl on the beach, the haunting that had changed her life. And sometimes, on the anniversary of Anjali's disappearance, when the wind whipped through the beach, carrying the scent of salt and the promise of change, Sonal would catch a glimpse of a girl, her reflection, standing at the water's edge. Their eyes would meet, a shared understanding passing between them, a silent acknowledgement of the past and a shared hope for the future.